Hello, I am Silas. If you have found this letter tonight, I believe it is because you have been trying so hard to become the woman you think he needs you to be. You have changed your appearance, softened your opinions, made yourself smaller in hopes that shrinking would make you more attractive. You have watched other women get chosen while you stand in the same room, wondering what invisible thing they possess that you do not. The exhaustion is real. The confusion is heavy. And somewhere deep inside, you have started to believe that maybe you are simply not enough. I need you to hear this. The thing that captures a godly man's heart is not something you manufacture. It is not a performance you perfect or a checklist you complete. It is not about being quieter or louder, softer or stronger, more submissive or more independent. It is something that radiates from within when you stop trying to be seen and start resting in being known by God. The quality I'm speaking of is peace, not the fragile kind that shatters when life gets hard, not the fake calm you force onto your face while your heart races with anxiety. I mean the deep, unshakable peace that comes from a woman who has anchored her worth in something that cannot be taken from her. A godly man recognizes this instantly because it is rare. It stands out in a world full of women performing, striving, and exhausting themselves for male attention. Here is what most women do not understand about men. We are drawn to stability. A man who is serious about building a kingdom, raising a family, and leading spiritually does not want a project. He does not want someone he has to constantly reassure, someone whose emotional state depends entirely on his words or actions. He is looking for a woman who already knows who she is. Not arrogant, not as self-sufficient to the point of not needing God, but rooted, grounded, at rest. When a woman walks into a room and her presence does not scream for validation, when her joy does not hinge on being noticed, when her confidence comes from communion with God rather than compliments from men, something shifts. A godly man feels it. He recognizes the Spirit of God in her before he even knows her name. That radiance is not something you can fake. It is the overflow of a woman who has spent time with the Father and has let him define her value. Look at the life of Ruth. She did not chase Boaz. She did not manipulate circumstances or dress a certain way to catch his attention. She simply went about her work with dignity, integrity, and quiet strength. She served Naomi. She trusted God. She was not desperate, and Boaz noticed. Not because she tried to be noticed, but because her character spoke louder than any words she could have said. He saw a woman of noble character, and that stopped him in his tracks. Boaz was a man of standing, a man of resources, a man who could have had anyone, but he chose Ruth. Not because she was the most beautiful woman in Bethlehem, not because she came from wealth or status. He chose her because she carried herself like a woman who feared the Lord more than she feared being alone. That is the magnet. That is the quality that makes a kingdom man say, "There she is." Now let me speak plainly about what this is not. This is not about being a doormat. It is not about silencing your personality or pretending you do not have needs. Peace is not passivity. A peaceful woman can still have standards. She can still require respect. She can still walk away from situations that dishonor her. But she does it without hysteria. She does it without the dramatics that come from insecurity. She moves with the authority of a woman who knows her Father is watching and will defend her if necessary. A man who is led by the Spirit can sense when a woman is at war with herself. He can feel the tension, the need for constant affirmation, the fear that drives her decisions. And if he is wise, he will not enter that space. Not because he does not care, but because he knows that a house built on anxiety will not stand. He is looking for a woman whose foundation is already solid so that together they can build something that lasts. This is why the world's advice fails you. The world tells you to be more attractive, more available, more accommodating. It tells you to play games, to withhold attention, to make him chase. But a godly man is not interested in games. He has already wasted enough time on women who do not know what they want. He is looking for clarity. He is looking for a woman who has already done the internal work, who has already let God heal her wounds, who has already stopped running from her past and started walking in her purpose. When you are at peace, you stop overthinking every text message. You stop analyzing every conversation for hidden meaning. You stop wondering if you said the right thing or wore the right outfit. You simply show up as yourself, knowing that the right man will recognize you and the wrong man will disqualify himself. That confidence, that rest, that assurance is attractive in a way that no amount of external effort can replicate. God is not asking you to become someone else. He is asking you to become more of who He created you to be. And that woman, the one He designed before the foundation of the world, is not anxious. She's not desperate. She does not beg for love or settle for crumbs. She walks in the fullness of her identity as a daughter of the King, and that changes everything. If you want to capture the heart of a godly man, stop chasing and start resting. Stop performing and start communing. Stop trying to be seen and start allowing yourself to be known by God. When you do that, when you let His presence fill the empty places, when you let His voice drown out the lies, something shifts in your spirit. You begin to radiate. Not with makeup or charm, but with the unmistakable glow of a woman who has been with Jesus. That is what a godly man is looking for. Not perfection, not performance, just peace. The kind that only comes from knowing whose you are. May you find that rest tonight, not in being chosen by a man, but in being cherished by the God who has already written your name on His hands. Sincerely, Silas.